When I was 4 or 5 years old, I had a dream about Jesus. He was dressed in white and came with light, and he said, "Don't be afraid of death. You are going to have an eternal life." Ben Işık abla, bu benim hikayem. I had a very sad childhood. Financially, we had everything, but we didn't have any peace. We didn't have any love or joy in our family. My father was a womanizer, and my mother used to have nervous breakdowns. And every time they had a fight, slamming the doors, cursing each other, I used to hide. And then when they used to see me, they used to tell me, "It's all your fault. I wish you have never been born." My mother became very abusive. I had long hair, beautiful long hair. She took the scissors and cut my hair from its roots. I remember being beaten up, kicked on the floors. My great-grandmother and my grandmother, they used to run to rescue me from my mother's hands, telling her, "You are going to kill her." And then my mother came back to her senses as usual, and she said, "I'm so sorry, honey, I love you, I'm sorry." And that was the only time she would tell me she loved me. 5 to age 7 years old, we had a family, relatives that we have been visiting. They had a son, and he was a lot older than me. I was molested by him. Years later, I told this to my mother, and my mother said they knew all about it. And I said, "If you knew about it, why you didn't do anything about it?" And she said, "We thought you like it." I hated her. I hated my mom. I hated my father. I believed I was stupid. I believed I was ugly. I felt very filthy, and I felt like it was my fault. I studied a lot. I read everything I could find. I started learning Quran from my great-grandmother and tried to learn and be a good Muslim. I thought it was fascinating that there was a being who created me, and if I knew him and if I find him, he could change my misery. I knew that I needed a miracle, but I had no relationship with my God. And no matter how hard I tried, I fasted since I was 7 years old. I prayed 5 times a day. I never heard back from him. So I came to a conclusion, there was God, there was a creator, but he was mean and hateful and always angry. I met this guy at college. I was studying Islamic literature. He was a fanatical Muslim. And I thought we were a good match. I really believed he loved me. I wanted to escape from home. We got married. I remember the first night that I was away from home. I thank Allah for not being there anymore. But another type of abuse started. He started beating me up all the time, every other day. He used to kick me, spit on me, slap me in public, pull my hair. It was acceptable for me because it was in the Quran. He could discipline me, and I used to always find a fault in me. But then I started finding a relief at workplace. People started telling me I was smart, and I started climbing career ladders in Turkey. The more I became powerful at workplace, the more he abused me to keep me oppressed. I decided I'm going to leave. I wanted freedom. I dreamed freedom. American consulate gave me a visa for 10 years. And I bought a ticket, one-way ticket. I got my divorce degree Friday, and I graduated from my post-studies in business administration Saturday, and I fled to America on Sunday. But it didn't change. It doesn't matter. Wherever you go, you take you with you. And I took abuse, hurt, insecure, angry, hateful, miserable woman with me to America. I said, I need a husband to tell me what to do with my life. And this time I met a drug abuser. He wanted to fix his life. He thought that marriage was a good purpose for him to fix his life. And we had a child. This time another type of depression and misery started. This was not physical abuse, but verbal abuse. And I decided to leave him. I was 28 years old, divorced twice, single mother, failed in every areas of my life. I became, that time, suicidal.